Alia, and in today's video we'll discuss about how to crack your NET-JRF examination in first attempt. So in this video we'll be discussing about the different strategies which you need before you start planning to prepare for your examination. So we'll start with the basic information. So the first is that you should in the very starting decide that in which cycle are you going to give your exam. Are you preparing for the June cycle or are you preparing for the December cycle? And here I would like to mention that at least give yourself 6 months before you are planning to give your exam. So if you are planning to give your exam in June, start preparing by December, okay? And then if you are preparing for the December cycle, start preparing in May or June. Then the next is paper 1 and paper 2. We all know now there are two papers. The first paper is related to the general aptitude on teaching and research, and the second paper is related to your domain in which you have done your masters. So we all know that the paper is an objective based, not a subjective paper. Then a masters from a reputed Indian university is required. Okay, if you have done your masters from a foreign university, then you should check from the AIU that it is actually considered as a masters in India, because many a times many management people, they face that issue that they have done PGDM from any foreign university and then that is not considered eligible master in India. So please get that verified beforehand before you take the pain to start preparing for your NET. Then you should know that the 6% is the passing result every year, like we have in CA and CS. Similarly here in NET also. So for example, if 1 lakh people have sat for the examination, only 6,000 are going to qualify. Then one more thing which I like to tell you is that the seats are reserved as per categories. So if you are a general person who is in the economically weaker section, so 10% seats are reserved. If you are in the SC category, then 15% seats are reserved. So like that I have already mentioned here, so you can have a look and you can calculate that okay, how much percentage of seats out of the 6% is for me. Then you should know that extra 20 minutes are given to the people who are in the PWD category. Then the next is no negative marking. So this is the best thing which we have in NET, is that there is no negative marking. It means that you should manage your time properly and attempt all the questions in the exam, whether it's paper 1 or paper 2. Then I would like to tell you is that there is an age limit. So why I have mentioned here that, so if you are taking the pain to work hard to get a JRF, so you should know that the age limit for JRF is 30 years, and for women, SC, ST, OBC, PWD, transgender, for those there is 5 years of relaxation, so till 35 they can. So if a person has crossed 35 and then they are thinking of studying for the JRF, then there is no use. You should just prepare for your NET and qualify the exam. Okay, then for assistant professors there is no upper age limit. The only thing you need is an eligible proper masters which you require. Then there are two papers as we have already discussed, paper 1, paper 2. So paper 1 contains 50 questions, paper 2 contains 100 questions, paper 1 100 marks, 1 question 2 marks each. Okay, so like that. So total paper is going to be for 300 marks. Okay, then the paper is going to be a 3-hour session, okay, without any breaks. So please prepare like that. So when you are doing mock test and all, so you should sit for 3 hours, I mean without any breaks when you are giving a mock test. Then here I would like to tell you that I have used this 6x6x6 rule. So 666 rule I would say. So the first 6 is 6 months. So you should give at least 6 months to you for preparing for the NET-JRF examination. Then 6 days a week you should give. Every week 6 days and every day 6 hours. This should be your planning to qualify your NET-JRF or JRF examination. Then here I have mentioned here the cutoff marks, so that you should know that what is the percentile, how much you need to study, how much is the target you need to crack to qualify your examination. So here you can see here, because I am from the commerce background, so here I have displayed for the commerce, but you can get this cutoff list, okay, on the UGC NTA website. Okay, so here I have mentioned that the 008 is the code for the commerce. So unreserved category, okay, I don't know why my pen is marking on the different row other than on which I'm trying to put a mark on. So unreserved category cutoff percentile is 98.159. okay, so out of the total, let's say that around 6 lakh people or 8 lakh people were sitting for the commerce NET-JRF examination. Out of those, in general category, only 990 people have passed the examination. So the examination is going to be tough because the passing percentage is quite less. Okay, and for the JRF and assistant professor candidates, only 189 people out of total 6 to 8 lakh people sitting every year for the examination, not even 200 people are qualifying the exam. So the exam is going to be tough. So strategize as per depending. See the cutoff list, the latest cutoff list. This list is June 2020. Now the December 2022 examination is done. Okay, the results are also out, so you can look out on the government website that what was the recent cutoff list for the assistant professor if you are planning for that, and JRF if you are planning for that. Then coming to next, so the first step which I would say is that go through the syllabus for both paper 1 and paper 2. Here I have mentioned the syllabus for both. I have mentioned here properly what are the subjects, what are the topics in the whole syllabus for both the papers. And I would here like to mention is that the syllabus which is given to you on the UGC NTA website, that is not enough. Okay, so that is just 40%. Okay, that syllabus for the examination is not enough. So in my next video for the commerce, I'm going to put a concise syllabus, okay, which you need to study. So on your syllabus you can see that only 10 topics are mentioned, but here I have mentioned 11 topics, and I will also explain in the next video that how to prepare for these, okay, and what is the concise syllabus actually. Okay, then coming to the second step, which is understand the exam pattern in detail. Understand what are the type of questions asked and how to apply elimination rule on those, how to apply different strategies to solve different type of questions. So one-liner questions with 4 options, those are pretty easy. Okay, assertion and reasoning questions, those are quite tough. Okay, people find those to be very difficult. When I was myself preparing for it, I also used to find it very difficult. Match the following, true or false, with appropriate reasoning. So they don't ask you just true or false, they ask you if it's true, is this the correct reason which we have mentioned here in the option, or is it something else. Okay, so like that. Then prepare the day-wise study plan to cover all the subjects. So here I have mentioned that what is the total number of units for paper 1 and paper 2. Okay, so this table, these 2 tables are going to help you to plan your studies for 6 months. Okay, so for paper 1, total number of units are 10. Approximately each topic contains 6 to 8 subtopics. Okay, 6 to 8 subunits. Then total subtopics are 80 units. So in a day you can cover at least 3 topics. So many times what happens is that when a concept is new to us, it becomes very difficult to imbibe more than 2 or 3 in a day. Okay, because they become very heavy on us. Okay, so try to target that at least you complete 3 topics in a day. So total subtopics which you can cover in a week is that study for 5 days in a week. Okay, cover 3 topics 1 day. So in 1 week for 5 days you cover at least 15 topics. Okay, and give 1 day to either revise whatever you have done in those 5 days, or you practice whatever you have studied in those 5 days. Okay, so that's why total 6 days, because I know it becomes very difficult to study the whole week. You need 1 day for some recreational purpose, or you have some urgent work. So 1 day you can give for that, and the 6 days you can give for this. And in those 6 days, as I have mentioned, 1 day just to do the revision or practice, and the 5 days to study the topics. In total, it will take you 1.5 months to cover your paper 1 syllabus. Similarly, coming to paper 2, total units are 10. Every unit contains 14 subtopics. In total, 140 subtopics. Cover at least 4 topics a day. Why I have increased the number of topics here is because we are studying commerce since class 11th. So we are quite familiar. It's not very much new to us. Some topics can be, but not all the topics. So try to target at least 4 topics in a day. Okay. Then in a week, in 5 days, cover at least 20 subtopics, and 1 day you give for those. In a week, give 1 day to revise all those 20 subtopics which you have studied in those 5 days. So it will take you at least 2 months, okay, to cover all your topics for paper 1 and for paper 2, and for paper 1 and 2 in total it will take 3.5 months. But I'm not saying that it will be done in just 3.5 months. It can be up to 4 months, because we are humans, we can get sick, we can have some other commitments which we need to cover, or some days are like we got so much stagnant that it's not easy, okay, or some days we don't feel like studying. So all in all, 4 months give to complete the whole syllabus of paper 1 and 2. Then take the help to clear your topics. Take the help of internet, YouTube videos, best things. ChatGPT, a very good new innovation which you can use. So if you are stuck in a topic which you feel like that I am not able to understand it, just go to the ChatGPT, go and write there, please explain me NPV like you explain a 6-year-old kid. Okay, so they'll explain you in a very proper manner, but don't depend on that solely, okay, because many a times what happens is that some topics are not explained properly there also. So do not solely depend on the explanation which is given to you by ChatGPT. Use some good sources, some good internet sites like Investopedia and all that for commerce people, okay. So coming to the next is that read good numbers of reference books. Other than using the notes which you had of your bachelor's and your master's, or the books which you have for a bachelor's and your master's, okay, also read these good reference books. So what I did when I was preparing was that for paper 1 I used 2 books. So I have not mentioned here Truman, but for paper 1 I also bought Truman. So for paper 1 and 2 I bought Truman, okay, and for paper 1 I bought I think I have, yeah, so Harpreet Kaur, Oxford University Press. Her book is very nice, you can refer that, okay. And for paper 2 I used Arihant publication, okay. So 2 books I used, Truman and Harpreet Kaur's book for paper 1, and Truman and Arihant for paper 2. Arihant for paper 2 is quite good. You'll get numerous questions at the back of every chapter, and those will be sufficient to practice once you are done with the chapter. Then other than that, you can also use digital platforms for mock test, or if you want to seek help, okay, so you can use Unacademy, you can use Byju's. Like these digital platforms are also helping people. Then coming to practice marks paper, practice is the key. You cannot avoid that. Practice is very important. Once you are done with any subtopic, go to the online sites. There you can just write on Google that free mock test for UGC NET. You will get plenty of options. Other than that, you use the reference books on the back of each chapter. There are books, okay. Last, the thing is, do a SWOT analysis of every subject. Specify what subjects are your strength. So for example, for me, economics was my strength, okay, management was my strength, whereas taxation was my weakness. I was very bad in taxation. I was not able to score more than 65 to 70% in chapters in taxation. Okay, my opportunity was business finance. I was good in that. Okay, I had not studied that much enough, but it was a good opportunity. I was able to understand and relate to the topics. Okay, and threat, sometimes your weakness become a threat, but you have to challenge it and you should make it your strength. So do a SWOT analysis. So I studied the taxation from CA books. You won't understand, you will say that why to take so much toil, but to crack JRF you need to study hard. Okay, so I used CA books, I used numerous websites and videos to understand the income tax and all that. Okay, and then I made it my strength. Thank you.